This has been my go-to makeup look for the whole fall. I promise, doing your makeup doesn't need to be intimidating and doesn't need to be 1 million products. I admit this is more than just 4 products, but it's worth it in the final look, I promise. You should know that before this, I had prepped my skin with moisturizer. I use a really thick moisturizer because I have very dry skin. These first 2 steps, if you have any sort of under eye discoloration, like I have dark circles, I use this color corrector by Charlotte Tilbury, let it dry completely before I put my concealer on, and it's such a game changer. Same with this pot concealer from NARS. I put it over my blemishes and let it dry before I do my foundation. Also a game changer. Then for me, I go back and forth on what kind of foundation I like to use. Today I used my NARS liquid, and I like to mix in some of these bronzing drops just to try to get a better match to my neck and my shoulders. I just dab it on and then I blend it in with a beauty blender. You want to bounce with the beauty blender, not drag. And make sure you damp your beauty blender beforehand. So you want to wet it, squeeze out all the water, and then dry it off with a towel sort of, so that it's just damp, not wet. Otherwise, if it's completely dry, it'll absorb all of your product. For eyebrows, if I'm just doing something quick, I use this Merit eyebrow gel. I use the color Taupe. It just gives you a little bit more fullness to your brows, but I don't find I need to fill mine in or correct them too much, so this works for me. My next steps are ones I'm pretty consistent with. I use a cream bronzer rather than a contour because I still like a bit of warmth in the fall time rather than a really cool contour. I just do less rather than more, because you can always add more, you can't take it away. So I just do contour stick and I blend that out, same thing, by bouncing rather than dragging it all around. Then I add a liquid blush on top. This one from Glow Recipe is so easy to blend out. Then I put powder products on top of that. I also, with my concealer, I use the Tower 28 concealer because it's really nice and lightweight. I do let it dry down a little bit and get a bit more tacky. I find when I blend it in with my finger and then just blend out the edges with the Beauty Blender, I get the best coverage. When I'm adding powder products on top, I'm not very careful with my placement. I'm just using a really light dusting. So I use the Makeup by Mario bronzing powder. I use an Hourglass blush. I want to make sure I'm not applying that too close to my nose. And then I use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder on a powder puff. I put a little bit on the back of my hand and then I get it all over the powder puff and then put it on my under eye. But it makes such a big difference. For eyeshadow, this Merit Pot cream eyeshadow has been so great. I use the color Mid-Century and then I just use the Merit eyeshadow brush. I put a little bit underneath my eyes as well and make sure I blend it above my crease because I have hooded eyes, so I want to make sure I see it, but it makes my eyes look so blue. And then I add this Fenty eyeshadow stick. I'll put the color in the link of what color eyeshadow this is, but I love that as well for just a little bit of sparkle. Mascara, I always use the Tarte Tubing Mascara and the Tarte Eyelash Curler. If I'm feeling extra dramatic, I'll add Tarte Maneater mascara on top of this once it's dried, but today I didn't. For lips, I've been using this Merit combo. Again, I'll have it in the link what colors it is. I believe the eyeshadow or the lip liner color is Coupe and the lipstick is the color Baby. I finish everything off with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray and I'm good to go.